Hi everyone, I'm Jess, welcome back to LARP 101, and today we're going to be talking about things that are worth splashing your cash on for LARP. So, if you've decided that LARP is the hobby for you, then it's probably time for you to start thinking about things that you are willing to splash a little bit of extra money on to improve your experience. So I'm going to talk you through the top 5 things I think are worth investing your money on in order to improve your LARP game. So, have you ever had that moment in life where you're going somewhere and your bag just splits and it spills all of its contents all over the floor and you have to kind of, scoop it all up in your arms and try and get it to wherever your destination is? In LARP, for some reason, it's like 100 times worse. It all comes down to the fact you're carrying your own stuff, then you get some clunky things for plot that you have to carry around with you. You're typically in a big muddy field, and if you're like me and that muddy field happens to be quite large, you're miles away from your tent. So having a bag that can live up to the weather and conditions of any LARP event is an absolute must. And personally, I like mine to look as in character as possible, so leather is always a good idea. I got my current one off Amazon. You can see it in my what to put in your LARP bag video that I did a while ago. The link is up the top. But truth be told, I've kind of fallen out of love with it. It doesn't look that bad, and I can see myself using it in LARPs in the future. However, the fact that I'm struggling to find a replacement for the zips and all of the little popper buttons on the different sections means it doesn't really look very fantasy. Leather crafters are a staple in LARP, and you can find them from big name brands like Epic Armory all the way down to your niche homemade crafters that you can find on places like Facebook or Etsy. Just think about what size you need and what you're planning to carry in it. And also think about how it's going to fit in with the rest of your kit. I outlined this a little bit in my basic LARP kit video, because due to my own personal experiences, it's really hard to manage a backpack and a quiver at the same time, so think about exactly how it's going to interact with the rest of your kit. Look for a bag that's good quality and that you can use at multiple LARPs. That way you'll get real value for your money. A really good quality cloak or coat is pretty much a must if you're planning on LARPing outdoors at all. It's really tempting when you're getting started to buy a cheap cotton or polyester one. However, if you're like me and you're LARPing anywhere other than somewhere warm and tropical, you need something that's going to keep you warm at night. In my personal opinion, cloaks should remind you of the Lord of the Rings films in every single possible way. They should look good, they should be nice and flowy, and they should protect you against the elements. If the cast of the Lord of the Rings are given proper wool cloaks that are designed to keep them warm on snowy capped mountains, then at the very least you can get you a cloak that is going to keep you warm as well. If you get cold and then subsequently get ill, even if it's a few days after your event has ended, it can really ruin your event. So the best thing you can do is take preemptive measures. Look at what materials your cloak is actually going to be made from. Raw wool is actually super water resistant, and even thin wool cloaks will offer you some protection against rain and the cold. However, do keep in mind that they can get heavy if they've absorbed enough water. Faux fur is good, but do keep in mind about how you're going to keep it clean. Also remember that faux fur is actually really bad for the environment, so if you're going to get something made out of faux fur, make sure that it is good quality so you're not going to have to replace it often. A high quality item is going to be better for the environment than a low quality one, because you simply won't be buying more and more of them over and over again. If you're really not keen on real fur or using a polyester fake fur, then I would recommend you look up a girl I follow on Instagram called Vegetarian Viking Wool. I have put her link down in the description. She's worked really hard to come up with a viable replacement for fur that is biodegradable. It is wool, but she's worked really hard to make it more fur-like, if you know what I mean. Go to her Instagram and you'll see she's absolutely brilliant, very talented. I recommend her thoroughly. So I went over this a little bit in my basic LARP kit haul video as well, but good quality underlayers are brilliant. Basic shirts, trousers and skirts are pretty much the foundation for all costumes, and if you can get some good quality ones that you can take from event to event, you're not only going to save a lot of money, but they're going to look better as well. If you can invest in ones that you can interchange into different costumes, it means you can take them to lots of different LARP events. And aside from looking better, high quality ones tend to be more durable. They're less likely to tear, they're less likely to fray, they'll generally last a lot longer than something flimsy that you have bought off Amazon. Look at neutral colours, you're looking for beiges, whites, blacks, browns or grey. These are a lot easier to dress up with brighter colours to make different costumes. Items made of wool are a particular favourite of mine. I will now forever deem it the magic fabric because not only will it keep you warm in the winter, but it will also help you keep cool in the summer. It's true, go look it up. So if you have the money to splash on good quality clothing, try places like Bergschneider, or if you're really going all out, places like Arm Street. So if you have decided that LARP is indeed the hobby for you, and you're like me and are prone to going out into the middle of the woods or a field and playing fantasy with your friends, then I would recommend a good quality tent. Lots of LARPers I know would recommend a bell tent, and that's not just because they are super spacious and really comfortable. I mean, seriously, if you take really good care of it, they are absolutely wonderful. They are really good at keeping water out, they are really good at keeping you warm in the winter and excellent for keeping you cool in the summer as well. But the thing that's really great about bell tent is they look really in character, which means if you're able to put it up in an in character area, you can have a space to roleplay with your mates that, you know, is not going to be tipping it down with rain. In truth, I've put tents in my number 2 slot for this list because I really do think that there is a benefit to having an indoor icy space that is under your control. It's a great opportunity to show more expression for your character, as well as have a space that you can roleplay with your friends, and it really enhances your roleplay experience. I've said this in a previous video, but I have this gorgeous one, wonderful blue one from Beauty Camping. I chose blue because I have a very specific lifestyle aesthetic that I am trying to maintain. But there are lots of different styles that you can have. There's the classic bell tent, to the emperor bell tent, to the lotus bell tent. From what I've observed, bell tents are actually really popular at LARPs all around the world. So have a look to see what is available in your region. I'd be very surprised if you didn't find something that was pretty much perfect. Okay, I cannot stress this enough, but if there's one good thing you're going to invest in, if you can't pick anything from this list, pick this one. Invest in good quality shoes. If you are outdoors, shoes will make or break your event, because having cold, wet feet is absolutely awful. If you sprain your ankle and do yourself an injury because your feet are not being properly supportive, trust me, you will be absolutely miserable. I subscribe very heavily to the boots theory of wealth as written by our late beloved Sir Terry Pratchett. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please Google it because it's actually quite enlightening for various aspects of life. It is essentially a commentary on how wealthy people stay rich because they can afford good quality items that will last them for years and years, as opposed to poor people who cannot afford to buy the high quality item and therefore buy a lower quality one that they have to subsequently replace more often, and therefore have spent actually more money than wealthy people because they've had to keep replacing their low quality item as opposed to just buying one high quality one once. I'm hoping I've explained that well. If I'm not, I'm sorry. I could go into a whole thing about comparisons of the wealthy and poor in various societies, but frankly this is a LARP 101 and that's a different conversation, so moving on. The point that I was trying to make before I diverged slightly off is that good quality boots will last you for years. They hold up in bad weather, they'll keep your feet dry, they will support your ankles properly, and ultimately they're going to be better for you than you having to buy a cheap new pair of boots every year. If you take anything from this list, please, please make it this, because if you have good quality boots on at a LARP event, you won't notice. If you have bad quality boots on, you absolutely will know. In the UK, you'll often hear people say LARP kit stops at the ankles. We would all personally prefer people to be wearing good quality walking boots that are going to keep their feet dry, secure, all that jazz, rather than them wearing boots that make them look more in character. Do your research, look at good quality walking boots and shoes. Even if mud and rain aren't very common where you are, I always think it's better to be safe than sorry. If you've got proper support on your ankles, if you put your foot down a hole in the middle of the woods, trust me, you're far less likely to do damage. If looking in character is so important to you, then invest in some good boot covers. You'll have seen this in a few of my previous videos, but I actually got these ones from Darkblade. They are custom made to me and I love them. As I've said many times, I have big chunky legs that normal boot covers do not fit, so I'm really, really grateful that Tim from Darkblade made these for me. I think they're absolutely brilliant, and frankly I think boot covers look great. If you're interested in ordering some custom kit, I have this video which you can actually go and watch anytime. It's always really, really important to shop around and get the best deal for your money. Because even if you're willing to splash your cash, it's still worth making sure that you get a good deal. After all, spending a lot of money is no good if you're just wasting it. So my next video is going to be the top 5 things that I think you should actually look at saving money on when you're going to LARP. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I hope you're all staying happy and healthy. I'll see you on a battlefield soon.